Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, regular meeting of council. I will call our meeting to order at 9:04 a.m., and I'll ask everyone to stand for the singing of the national anthem. I want to say good morning and welcome to Ms. Stone this morning. Really appreciate you in this role, and I'll ask if you have any additions to the agenda this morning.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Administration has no additions to the agenda this morning.
Anything from council? Is there a member of council that would like to approve the agenda for the March 18th, 2026 regular meeting of council? Councillor Bohm, thank you. I'll now call the motion. All in favor? That is carried. Any corrections or amendments to the March 4th, 2026 regular meeting of council? To the special meeting of council for March 2nd, 2026? Is there a member of council that would like to make a motion to accept these? Councillor Brooks, thank you. We'll call the motion. All in favor? That is carried. We have a fairly light agenda this morning. No proclamations, public hearings, delegations. We have one decision item this morning, which is 8.1. This is Mr. Tom Thompson. This is for the FREA Fire Smart Wildfire Mitigation Strategy Plan. Good morning. That's a lot. That's a mouthful. And welcome.
Good morning, Madam Mayor, Council. So I'm here this morning to talk about the FREA grant. It is a little bit confusing, so I'll try and go through this and hope we can clarify some things. So in 2025, we had applied for a grant from FREA to do a vegetation management project. We were successful in that application. To the point that I did come to council to get formal approval. And in that whole process, we got to the point where we were going to get the money, and then FREA changed the rules on their grants. And they came back and said that before we could do our mitigation project, we had to do a wildfire mitigation strategy plan. Consequently, we then had to reapply. We were successful in our application, and so now we are going to be going to do the plan first, and then we will do the project second. So this today is just to get council's approval to approve the funding for the plan. So that's the gist of what I'm here today to tell you about.
Thank you very much for that. Any questions this morning for Mr. Thompson? Councillor Wheeler?
Just really quick, if someone was watching and you were giving them a 1-minute overview of what the plan actually kind of entails, would it be about the residents or about the area surrounding the community? Could you do that?
Sure. So the plan will include the area around Drayton Valley as well as areas within the town itself. It is to basically go through all of our vegetation places and to look at the risks that it might pose to the community in terms of if we had a wildfire. It then highlights the priority areas that need to be managed or have vegetation project or vegetation management done to them. So that is kind of what that whole plan is about.
Any other questions? Is there a member of council who would like to make a motion? Councillor Finn?
Sure. I make a motion that council support the FREA grant application to receive funding for the wildfire mitigation strategy preparedness plan, and that council provide a letter of support to receive the grant funding.
Thank you very much for that. Any comment, question, debate on the motion? Then I'll call the motion. All in favor? That is carried, and that was our one and only decision item this morning. It's quite a brief council meeting. Next up, we have council reports. I believe Councillor Clark, you're online. Did you want to go ahead and start with the council report? Okay, maybe I'll move along to Councillor Brooks.
Yeah, so not much to report, other than, only thing I've done, other than anybody that's separate from anyone else, is I went to RMA, and I wasn't able to be there for the whole conference because they're still going on, but I'll have a report for our next agenda.
Perfect, thank you for that. Councillor Bowen.
I'm here. I just couldn't couldn't find the audio button.
Okay, Councillor Clark, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I had nothing to report anyway. Thank you.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Councillor Boehm?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Since our last council meeting, I have had a Yellowhead Library Board meeting, and so did that on March the 9th. They will be coming forward requesting additional funding. Yeah, so that's interesting to go through. As well as I had a Community Safety Committee meeting on March the 12th, where we just kind of went through what it is that we are kind of setting out for a plan. We're going to present that to council here, I believe, at our next G&P meeting, so that we can set our strategies going forward and what the council actually wants to see come out of the Community Safety Council. And so that's good to hear. And that's pretty much all I have to report.
Perfect, thank you for that. Councillor Finn?
Nothing really to report. The only thing, I attended the community registration night last night. Believe the team from the Team Auction Center put that on. Some great organizations down there. There was a little bit of foot traffic, but other than that, yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Councillor Jeffrey?
Morning. One thing that I've done in the last bit was I took on a rural health webinar, and it was very interesting because it focused on 3 communities in the province that are experiencing health care issues and shortages, and just the different ways that they've tackled the problem was a very worthwhile webinar to take in. I also took a minute to stop by and look at what they're doing with the Recreation Master Plan. And I saw it, I was over there about 10 days ago, and then I saw it again last night. So to see the input that's put there, it's very interesting results. So if you have an opportunity to have a look at how that's going, I understand there may be an upcoming meeting about that. Sustainability Committee yesterday focuses on Earth Day coming up. So hopefully everybody's being creative in how they're going to contribute to the intention of that day. A couple things that I did that are kind of just off the side. I had the opportunity to go to the 4-H Public Speaking Regional Competition, and it's always so gratifying to see that that project is there and the immense talent of the young people we have in our community. So a lot of gratitude to the people that put that on and the kids that talked. It was awesome. Community registration night last night was very interesting as well. There are things happening in town that I didn't realize. Like if you want to learn how to water ski, which I do not, there is that opportunity. Come on, but I think that there's an obstacle course race happening on July the 4th that would be fun to watch. So if anybody's interested in that, that's an upcoming opportunity as well. Well, it actually, yeah, Constable Brooks, it would be a great team building activity. Are you volunteering? No, I said counselor. Are you hopeful?
Thank you very much for your report. Deputy Wheeler?
Thank you and good morning. So we had the Youth Advisory Committee go through and do their strat planning. And the place where they started was actually with their terms of reference. They were approved, they get approved by council here, but in 2025, but they were fairly generic. So we really gave them some more meat in terms of what they're actually really trying to accomplish. We still left it open, but that will have to come back for approval probably in the next month or so, I would expect. We're still just cleaning up back and forth. And then they'll be working into the strategic plan of how they're going to enact those tasks and what they're going to do. And their role really is an advisor to council, so they should be connecting with the youth in the community and asking what the youth want and bringing that back to us, as well as when we have stuff, they get the youth thought and opinions on it and bringing it back to us. So kind of really trying to lean on them more a bit as we get into some of our policy setting and decision making. It's kind of the go forward plan, but they're all super engaged and excited again, just like anyone is after their strat planning session. So it was nice to see. We did have Sustainability Committee, and yes, we are working on our Earth Day projects. We're partnering with EPBR. They're doing their rain barrel program again, so they'll launch that soon. But if anyone's looking to get a rain barrel, it's a very reasonable deal, and they come with the little tap and the stuff on them, so it's all set up and ready to go. And yeah, great thing to use. So we'll be putting some information in with them. Yeah, and then we talked about getting ready for summer season. with outside stuff, as well as just kind of waste diversion is something we want to dig into a bit in the fall, and starting with the recycling program. So what we can do and how we can help residents with what we already have, and then we'll build on that. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Perfect, thank you for your report. For myself, just a lot of internal office meetings over the last couple weeks. I attended the Life Saving Sports Swim Meet at the new Aquatic Center. It was wonderful. We had over 200 sports enthusiasts there that were competing and showing their skills. So that was really nice to see bright and early in the morning a couple weeks ago. And they did a great job, so that was nice. And a big thank you to the volunteers, the coaches, the parents, and everyone that helps to make sure that these athletes succeed and get to where they need to be and on time and things like that. We did also, as a council and administration, have the food bank tower that was the challenge that we had challenged Brazeau County and community residents a couple weeks ago. So we finalized that last week and took some pictures, and I believe it was sent off to the food bank because it was here and it's no longer here. So I'm assuming it got sent to the food bank. So great job, everyone, for participating in that. It looked great. And then yesterday I also attended the PEP rally. So that was at the Holy Trinity Academy. That was for the Tigers, the senior girls basketball team. They won a spot in the provincials, so they're heading to the provincials tomorrow. So they had a celebration yesterday in the gymnasium, and it was nice to see. And I wish these girls the best of luck and success, and I hope that they have a ton of fun as well. And again, to the coaches and the teachers and everyone for helping them get there. So lots of celebrating in our community when it comes to athletes and sports. So that wraps up my report. Is there a member of council would like to make a motion to accept reports as information? Councillor Jeffrey?
I move that we accept the reports as information.
Thank you very much for that. All in favor? That is carried. Next up is council items, roundtable discussion. Does anybody have any roundtable discussion, things that are kind of happening? Go ahead, Deputy Wheeler.
I was just wondering about any AUMA, Alberta Munis resolutions. We talked a little bit about it, but I'm not sure if we ever settled on if we are looking at doing something or submitting anything. We talked about more with the sheriffs and the CPOs and allowing other people to do transportation for our RCMP department.
I believe the deadline is in May for resolutions, so we'd
Yeah.
want to maybe add it for discussion to our next GNP if
Yeah.
that's something that we want to do, just for discussion.
I
Make
think
a little
it's
note of that. Go ahead, Councillor Brooks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think we should probably, I don't know if we need to have a discussion about it in GMP, but we should definitely talk about whether we actually, if council supports it or not. And then I was thinking that we'd bring it to K Division when we meet them next. And then maybe they have some input for us if we're going to move ahead with a resolution like that. But then at the same time, I think they'd be the guys that would implement the program. So I think maybe we should see what K Division has to say and then maybe plan our next steps from there.
So I don't think we would be meeting with K Division till the fall. That would be the only thing. So if we're wanting to get this, then May is the deadline, like for any sort of resolution. So maybe we'll just add it to an agenda setting, or sorry, to the next GNP, and then we can have a conversation if we want to request a meeting with K Division or we want to put in a resolution, because I believe there was something else, and I'd have to go back in my notes of what that second resolution was as well that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Councillor Brooks, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I guess the only other thing is that we don't actually have to have a formal meeting with them to bring it up. Like, we could send them a letter or have a phone call or something like that and see what they have to say on the matter. So,
Deputy Wheeler?
I think it's a good idea. I think it's great to engage them. And yeah, if we send them a letter, like, we're ultimately doing it to help them. So any input they have on how we can best direct the help, I think is a good thing.
Administration may need just a little bit more details on what that letter looks like and what we're advocating for. Yeah. Councillor Wheeler, did you have anything else? No? Councillor Jeffrey?
Just a couple of things. I was approached last week regarding the Rural Renewal Stream Program, and the person was asking questions about why the status of it had changed, et cetera. And then just at that moment, we received a great communication from Jen, which was absolutely perfect. So I was able to present that to that individual, so I appreciate that very much. It was exactly what he was asking. I also had a concern expressed from a resident regarding the development potential of the parcel of land on the corner of 50th and 50th, so I'm certain that we'll have much more conversation about that, I'm hoping, along the way here soon. And also, we talked last week at governance, a topic on the agenda was the Community Foundation and the town grant proposal. We definitely need to do a great deal of follow-up and work on that project. So again, I'm not sure if we want to bring it up again in a governance meeting, but we are just kind of starting that project rather than maybe where we thought we were. So we need to put that on an agenda at some point. And then also last night, at the registration, Northern Lakes College was set up there, so I had just stopped to visit and have a conversation. And part of that conversation was related to the a mobile trade unit that we have mentioned before. The current status of that is almost immediate attention needs to be paid, and right now the concern is that it's going in the opposite direction of where we thought maybe it was going to go. So again, we need to do a little bit more work in that area. I understand Corrine may have been involved yesterday with conversations, so again, follow up on that would be very important.
Thank you very much, Councillor Jeffrey, for your report. Yeah, I believe that we are having a bit of an economic development meeting after the council meeting. So Troy will be updating us on the mobile trade unit and what's happening in our education portfolio. So we'll learn a little bit more. And I do agree when we are speaking about the El Dorado lands that there are requests coming in from the community and concerns. And I think that all of us need to understand a little bit better of what's happening there. We're uncertain, so we will have additional conversations, and then we'll be able to communicate to the public of what's exactly happening there. We just need to be brought up to speed with that. Appreciate your roundtable discussion. Did you have anything else? No? Anybody else have anything? Maybe just a couple things just to mention that there is a couple. Councillor Clark, go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. We had chatted for several years now about the Ivantoe to South Entrance pathway. Just curious to see where that's at, if there is any update on that front.
Thank you for that. So that would be the FRIA grant trail expansion in partnership with Weyerhaeuser. So I believe that the application process had changed a little bit. So that would be a Miss Terry response, and she's not here right now. We can follow up with that. So previous council, we had applied in partnership with a grant for FRIA through Weyerhaeuser. And what this was, it was for a trail expansion that would start at Ivantoe and go all the way to the CETC behind there. And then it had come back, and just because there was some environmental concerns just and things like that, the grant application had been altered a little bit. So now that it was changed and it was only going to go for a portion of the distance for the first phase, and then you'd have to do a little bit of an environmental assessment after that. But with the changes to FRIA, it's kind of still up in the air. I had talked to the Chief of Staff for Minister Lowen's office, and he said to send them the grant application again and a little bit of information. So I had left that with Ms. Terry just to kind of capture where the grant is. So maybe we'll follow up with Ms. Terry to get that information, send it to the Chief of Staff, and then we can kind of give that grant a little bit of a push again.
Thank you.
Anything else, Councillor Clark, for roundtable?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Just a few things that are happening in the community. Tonight we have the town hall with the RCMP. That's happening, and I believe that is at the MCC. Oh, CETC. So for residents, council, administration, anyone wanting to attend, that is starting at 7 PM tonight. There is also happening this evening is the Wilderness on Tap, and that is being hosted by EPBR, and that is at the Nodding Donkey. I believe that is starting at 6:30 this evening. So a couple events happening there. Tomorrow and for the next 3 nights, the EPAC is hosting Our Fair Lady at the theater, and I know some of the councilors are going, so anyone in the community, if you haven't got your tickets, I would encourage you to get your tickets for that. There's 2 shows on Saturday as well. Friday evening, there's an event happening at the MCC in regards, I think, from Friends of Science in regards to healthcare, what's happening in our community. It's a busy next few days that are definitely happening. I know council is, a few of us are then off to Alberta Spring Leaders Caucus next week, which will be exciting, and that's a day and a half to meet with ministers and other municipalities and things like that. Some of us will be attending the State of the Union with Stony Plain, Spruce Grove, and Parkland County, which are our municipal partners. We're very excited to be collaborating with them all, particularly Stony Plain, and the support that they've been giving our community recently. So just a shout out and a big thank you to Mayor William Choi, his council, and CAO Tom Golden. They're really appreciative of their support. And I think that's it for roundtable. I'm just trying to think if anything's came in for concerns through email or anything. Does anybody else? Nothing? Go ahead, Councillor Brooks. Did you have maybe something?
Only thing is I've been getting complaints about potholes and that sort of thing. And
You have been getting complaints about potholes?
Yeah, I'm crazy. But as I understand it, we can't do it right now because it's too wet. So maybe if administration could give me just a quick little something that I can say, this is kind of the plan and, you can expect to see this.
Ms. Stone?
I can give you a little bit. In the absence of Ms. Terry, I'll try my best here. I do know that the crew has been out doing what they can and getting the water out of the pothole and filling it. So they are out there doing it. It is going to take some time because there's a lot. So.
Yes, I understand that, and I'm not trying to be pushy. I understand that it's quite the process.
It is.
Especially this time of year.
Next
Yes.
time Ms. Terry's in, she can probably give you a better
Certainly.
update, but they are out there, yeah.
Well, and maybe that'll be a conversation after, just to have those little bit of updates from Public Works on where we are. I know that it hasn't even been a week that we had a big snow dump here. So, I don't think that spring is fully here. I think we'll probably, I hate to say it, but we'll probably receive some snow yet before spring rears its head. It's hard to say, but I think the community does get concerned about the potholes, which we all should on the roads, but I would also like to say that this is oil country, and we are the heart of oil country here in Drayton Valley, and we work hard, we play hard, and unfortunately, those trucks are hard on our roads, not just here, but throughout all of Alberta. So we need a plan that's going to be rolled out. We need a little bit of patience and just an update from Public Works, right? But I think it's a little bit too early to be covering or filling all of our potholes at this current time. I would like to know also from Ms. Terry what it costs for a kilometer of asphalt or just a skim coat, because I know that it's come up in the community of why don't we just pave the roads? So maybe just even to respond to some of the residents in the community to say this is what it would cost, just for a light overlay, and how many kilometers of roads we have and how many millions of dollars that would cost as well. Pardon? Well, it used to be 1 million a kilometer, but I think it's about 1.7 now or something. Yeah. Yeah, just get some numbers and then we can be communicating, a pothole plan going forward, what that looks like. And, whether it's snow season, whether it's grass cutting season, whether it's pothole season, there's always something. And I know the community is expecting, a service level. So if we can say this is what our plans are and this is what we're delivering and this is the timeline that it will happen. Okay, if there is nothing else, that's it for roundtable discussions. We have 3 information items this morning. 11.1 is a response letter from Advanced Education. 11.2, Brazeau Foundation meeting minutes. 11.3, approval letter, the Town of Drayton Valley. Any questions around the letters that we've received? Is there a member of council that would like to make a motion to receive these as information? Deputy Finn, thank you very much. All in favor? That is carried. And now we have a closed session, Access to Information Act 29(1)A and B. Is there a member of council that would like to make a motion to move us into that, please? I do have the motion in front of you. Councillor Boehm?
Yeah, I move that council move into closed session at 9:32 a.m. according to the Access to Information Act, Section 29(1)A and B.
Thank you very much for that. I'll call the motion. All in favor? That is carried. Okay, we will reconvene. We just moved out of closed at 12:32 p.m. The motion was made by Councillor Brooks. Are there any motions coming out of closed? I keep wanting to say Deputy Councillor Finn.
I'd like to make a motion that council engages the recruitment firm to support the recruitment of the CAO for the Town of Drayton Valley.
Thank you very much for that. Any comment, question, debate on the motion? Then I'll call the motion. All in favor? That is carried, and that wraps up our agenda for the Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 regular council meeting. We will adjourn the meeting at 12:35 p.m.